2FM. Come together.
Good morning and welcome everybody. We are now moving to a different place altogether. We're in the kind of cavernous studio where we have some friends. Good morning, friends. That is a very quiet, shy and retiring gospel choir from Bray, who we've met, who do that every time they get a little rub of the belly. But we're also... They all speak like that. Yes, they do. When you say pass the salt together, they go, oh, it's going to go on and on and on, but I like your style. You've got great style, you know that. Also joining us this morning, Mr. Johnny Logan. And Miss Niamh Kavanagh. I tell you, my life is like the Truman Show. I feel like Forrest Gump. I'm surrounded by greatness everywhere I go, and yet I'm just an eyewitness to it. So it's great to see you both here today. What brings you here, Johnny?
My glasses and a driver. I was asked to be involved with the project just to make people aware of depression and and to make people aware that there are places to go. Lean on Me, is representative of the internet. Or the website that you can get onto to find more information about it. But it's there's an old thing we say: women die of something, men die of embarrassment. So they just don't talk about things. And I think that depression is one of those things. I think there's very few of us who have actually gone through, certainly in the music business or in life in general, without knowing people who suffer very badly from depression. And a lot of people feel guilty about it. They just think he's down again, or I'm feeling grumpy again, or whatever. Instead of actually talking about it, it's really to kind of bring it out of the darkness and into the light.
It's also one of those things. It's not a physical illness. So
no.
You don't see somebody with a bandage or the crutch or something. So you're just going,
absolutely.
as you say rightly, it's your man's acting funny
he's
again.
just he's grumpy again.
And as you know, particularly as well, men, we don't talk about that.
Absolutely.
Because unless it's kind of like in my case, politics, or somebody else's case, music or football or something, we don't want to know, because that's just, that's what girls do. We don't do that sort of thing.
I'm getting more like the girls these days.
Well, do you know what? That's a good thing.
In more ways than one.
What?
It's too early in the morning.
That's for the next interview, ladies and gentlemen. And Niamh Kavanagh, it's good to see you again, and looking so happy and well.
I know.
And what brings you into this project again, echoing Johnny's sentiments?
Well, there is a lot of, making awareness of what's happening. The truth is, most people need people to talk to. And I think it's difficult. I certainly have had people in my life where they have, they show signs of depression, they seem they're not coping or whatever. And you don't really know how to broach the subject, I think, or how to even come to someone and say, is there something I can do for you? Or more importantly, is there ways that we can maybe move you on? It doesn't have to be chemical, it doesn't have to be anything. It just sometimes is just someone to say, it's okay. Everything's okay. We're here for you. Just talk, because sometimes it's just about talking or going for a walk or something. But it's finding that someone who does it. And Johnny's right. Women do it a little bit easier than men. But the truth is, a lot of women even have that kind of stigma. They feel like they should just be coping with everything as well. And they don't want to be kind of sitting going, well, I'm not coping. If they feel they have to admit that they're not feeling 100%. I mean, after my second child, I definitely felt different to myself. Not quite as wide-eyed and bushy-tailed as I am. And I certainly didn't cope the way I would normally cope. Now, I wasn't in the depths or anything. But definitely what helped me was the network of people I have, my friends and that, and also out walking, doing the things that are kind of just out there getting you going again. But it definitely hits you in different ways. And people think to have depression, you must be on the ground, unable to lift yourself up. It's not about that sometimes. It sometimes starts from something just not being quite yourself and not being able to kind of focus on what you're doing. So I think a campaign like this is great because it might catch a lot of people before they really end up down where it's hard to get up from.
Could I just say that I think the website that you can go to is leanonme.net.
Leanonme.net, and that song.
I think that's very important. We should mention that. Yeah,
sure, in the campaign as well. Before we get into the music, I'm looking forward to having some music now from yous all. But tell me, how's life going, by the way?
I just came in from Germany.
You're
yesterday.
always globe-trotting.
Yeah, I'm still touring around Scandinavia. I did the rock musical Excalibur that we played to about 10,000 people each night, 13 concerts in January, and then I've got a single coming out all over Scandinavia, and along with the album.
I think we'll be seeing you.
I was doing the late, I think, in December sometime. I'm looking forward to that. And that's with the song. I wrote it about growing up at Christmas in Dublin. I
Oh,
went
how
on
lovely.
on this. But this was something I heard about while I was over in Germany. I've been in Germany all month, and I was doing, of all things, a Sylvester show, New Year's Eve show,
Like
recording it.
the Sylvester the cat.
No, that's what they call New Year's Eve in Germany,
Oh,
Sylvester.
sorry.
So
Happy
it's
New Year.
it's
I
recorded
thought I
for,
saw. Yeah.
for another station at Puditat.
Yeah, that's
At
it.
Puditat.
Okay, that's a different day. We should have a Sylvester Day today. Because the country is so grim today, we should just have National Sylvester Day where a cat comes around chasing a little yellow bird.
This went from me saying, like, sort of, I'm starting
not
to feel
sure I
more
can
and
go
more
on this
girly, and
conversation.
like,
Happy New
now
Year.
we're ending up back here again.
Happy New Year, Germans.
Happy New Year. Well, listen, it's not the worst. I think the worst one I did was I did a New Year's Eve show once in Germany in January. Yeah, for the next year, because the snow was really good.
gonna
We
say
did
it's
it
a
in
little bit
Austria.
So you're just getting ahead of yourself.
They did use helicopters.
Niamh, what are you doing with yourself
Well,
these days? How are
very
those boys
busy.
of yours?
Oh, they're super.
they messers?
I rushed in from dropping them to choir yesterday. No,
Yeah.
they were doing their stuff yesterday. To be honest with you, they're fantastic,
Yeah.
and they totally upstaged me on the late. The first thing everybody says to me is how gorgeous my boys are, and as a mammy, there's nothing better you can hear.
Exactly.
As a singer, I have to say it's very disconcerting.
Of course. Yes, indeed. Yes, yeah. They're trying to find something. It's like
I know.
It's like the ugly baby syndrome, where they're walking along with the pram and they go, "Oh, that's a lovely pram."
Yeah, I know.
It's very,
I know.
very
Are you saying I'm
lovely.
ugly, Ryan? Say it to my face.
No, no.
At least,
I'll tell you
at least
anything.
your kids went on the late with you. My 18-year-old, he plays with 2 heavy metal bands. And
Yeah.
I'm not even allowed to pick him up from school.
Yeah.
I said, the
Johnny, he's-
kids start shouting, singing "Hold Me Now," and asking for hamburgers and stuff like that. So this is.
Yeah,
I'm
be
just
honest,
gonna-
Johnny,
this is-
to be honest with you, my kids are a bit younger, so they're not quite at the stage of total mortification
Yeah.
with their mother. Although when I did call them just after I'd sung, I was just saying, after I'd sung on the big night on the final,
Yeah.
delighted with myself because I'd done quite well. And I thought, I rang up and I said, well, did you see your mummy singing? And they said, oh, yeah, you were grand. Turkey's on now, so goodbye. They wouldn't say, because obviously I'll never compete with an angle grinder and some sort of heavy metal band. So, to be honest with you, I'm their mammy. That's it.
At least
And I'm okay with that.
At least they watched you. Like, I did this thing, the 25th anniversary of the Eurovision. I came out in a white suit, and I hadn't realised that my youngest son, who's 18 now, had never seen me win a Eurovision
At all.
And he turned to his mother and he says, "And this is the man who sits on our couch in a pair of boxer shorts." And that was the reaction. Not always great, isn't he? You know?
That's great.
That's a
He
lovely
looks gay,
sharing.
But thanks for sharing the visual.
Yes. I don't think I'll get that vision out all day.
But in fairness, thank you for wearing the white suit into us
Yes.
this morning.
You did notice. I made the effort.
Doesn't he look good? Doesn't
Although
he
I'd
look good?
rethink the red pants.
Yeah.
That's my underwear.
That's for later, Niamh, who's now fanning herself desperately. It's time for some music.
It's the nearest I've been to a fan for a long time. Sorry, I couldn't resist it. Yeah.
Okay. Now listen, this is all far too jovial.